All right, I heard you. You wanted a video on how to polish these holes. Let's get out of the rain and get this truck inside and make that happen. Now that we've got a nice shiny wheel, I would normally do this mid-process and polish the holes while I'm polishing, but there's multiple different ways to do in the holes. I always recommend, if you're going to start doing in the holes, do them from when the wheels are brand new. If you wait until they're used and beat up, they are a ton of effort, and it takes more time to polish in these holes than it does to do the wheel itself. Good piece of advice for those of you that are turning this into a business. I, as a polisher who's been doing this 25 years, I charge more to do in the holes than I do to charge for the rest of the wheel. The rest of the wheel is quicker and easier for me to polish than it is for me to sand and polish in these holes. Now, for sanding, you've got a couple different options. You've got these little Scotch-Brite discs. There's little sanding cartridge rolls. You can use those. I find that these satin discs are very effective, especially for cleaning the holes. We have two different sizes. This is a 3-inch and this 2-inch. So depending on the size of the hole, like if I was working on this one here, I would definitely need the small hole, because that's what's going to take for me to get that in there. If I were to try and use the big hole, I'm just going to end up sanding the entire wheel, and that's not what I want. So if I were to sand these and just clean them out, I would use this little guy for these small holes, these old style Peterbilt wheels. Now, to choose your polishing weapon. So there is foam and there is the cotton. The cotton is going to do a way better job polishing in there, and you can use this with liquid or you can use it with the rouges. I recommend with the liquid. I find that it gets it done quicker. With the rouge, it's going to take a lot more time, but I'm going to show you how to do both today. Now, these are cones. We also have barrels, and we also have actual mini polishing buffs. Now, these mini polishing buffs are what you would want to use if you were going to use rouge. The cones would be what you would want to use if you were going to use liquids. They are far more effective with the liquids, and these little discs here are far better at doing it for polishing. So let's just say, for example, I wanted to use this little disc. I would put it in my drill. I would grab my green compound because I'm not looking to do a crazy polish on it. Rouge this little guy up real good. Now that I've got it covered in rouge, I'm just going to go in and out and work the hole. Okay, this hole looks way different than that hole. So as you can see, this hole here has not been polished, and this one here has been polished, but it's got a little bit of rouge compound left in there, so I'll come back and I'll throw a hand polish on it at the end with a foam pad. But for right now, we're just going to go ahead and finish cutting all these out. Alright, so now we are to the valve stem hole. What do we do here? I can't get the buffer in. I can get it in on a little bit, so I want to catch it on the part I can see, and the rest I'm just going to catch with hand polish with one finger when I get that far. Now if this wheel was off, I would do it without the valve stem in. Since I don't have that option right now because on the truck, I'm going to just keep working around it. Now if these holes were rougher, I would definitely be using the brown compound, but these are on my personal truck. I've polished them 100 times, but they've been neglected. I haven't polished them since we rebuilt the truck, so the green will get it just fine. Alright, now I have completed all the way around. Now I'm going to use the cotton cone and I'm going to come back through it one more time with some hand polish just to clean up my little bit of compound. Now I'm going to slow my speed down too, because if I leave it at that high speed I'm just going to sling liquid everywhere. So I'm going to go grab a towel in case we do. So now we've got our drill and our foam pad. We're going to shake up our time to shine hand polish. Now I'm going to turn the drill on slow. Just going to drizzle some on there. I don't want to soak the pad. If I soak the pad, I have a lot to clean off. So after I do that, what I like to do is I like to take my hand and just spin it in a little bit and work it in so it's not slinging everywhere. All right. That's the valve stem hole, so I'm not going to be able to get it in there at all. Alright, now that we've made it all the way around, I'm going to take a little bit of hand polish, shake it up again. I'm going to find that valve stem hole. I'm going to put a little bit on the corner, just like that. I'm going to take one finger, I'm just going to work around this valve stem hole. So I do not have the ability to run a machine into something so small without tearing the valve stem out. So we want to make sure we got that. Of course, it takes a little more scrubbing by hand than it would with the power drill, but we've got that. We'll fold it back into our square. We're going to start removing it. towel back up so I can get in here real well. There we go. Now I would come back and recolor this entire wheel. So if I was going to polish the holes, I would do this in between the cut and the color step. But I only do this on the show trucks. Why? Because the vent holes don't hold shine very well. They're made for venting. So as they're driving down the road, all the dust and stuff that comes up out of the road that usually gets stuck in the backside of the wheel comes blasting right out that hole. And honestly, it doesn't hold the polish very well. So there we have it. I'm going to throw a fresh color on this side. Show you, we just go over the top. And there we have it. Now the only thing left is to put the lug nut covers back on. And this is a freshly polished wheel all the way through the holes.